Hello and welcome to instalment 3 of the Weekly Wrap 2022. As a staff, we've been looking at the life of Jesus in the Gospel of Mark, and we're really interested in how Jesus acts and reacts to situations. We feel that that is a great way to inform us how to do the same thing, how to react and act in certain situations and to people. So Mark chapter 1 verses 40 to 42 talks about when Jesus meets a leper, and it says this: a leper came to him begging him, and kneeling he said to him, "If you choose, you can make me clean." Moved with pity, and some versions say compassion, Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him and said to him, "I do choose, be made clean." Immediately the leprosy left him and he was made clean. And what a great illustration, the power of God that reaches into situations where no one else is willing. This guy would not have been touched by any human hand for many, many years, because that's what happens with that disease. That's the result, alienation from community. But Jesus was willing to touch. And I know that that's how God works in our lives, and I love that at our school we can talk about the changing power of Jesus, the changing power of God, because he's willing to reach into situations where other people will not go. And I love that we have that message that we can share with each other and that we can share with our children. So what an encouragement the story of Jesus is in Mark. The last fortnight at school, I'll just run you through a few things. High school have been looking at preparing for the Science and Engineering Challenge, which is happening on Tuesday, 29th of March. The middle primary guys, I jumped in there today and said, "What are you learning?" They had just finished maths and said, "Oh, we're learning all about money." The junior primary also, they were working on maths, and they said that they were learning about skip counting. And earlier in the week, I just walked past and saw the kinders learning all about the letter T. So that's been exciting. There's lots of learning going around the place. But I want us to hone in today on the upper primaries. They have spent some time preparing a little movie with all the things that have been happening. They've done a fantastic job, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I did.
The Not So Weekly Wrap, presented by Upper Primary.
For primary this year, we've been doing 2 different types of devotion because we have 2 different teachers. With Mrs. Kimball, we are focusing more on self-growth and becoming better people. And with Miss Tilliard, it's for focusing on the book of Mark and what Jesus did and who he is.
In grade 5-6, we have been reading the book Bhavana. It's a fiction story based on real events. It's about a family struggle with the rules of the Taliban in Afghanistan. The father is arrested. The rest of the family is trapped because of the rule of no unescorted females. Bhavana is one of the daughters who has to pretend to be a boy to provide for the family. The story focuses on Bhavana's adventures.
I like math pathways because it helps me learn more and know more.
What I like about Math Pathways is that it shows me how to work out the question when I'm stuck, and it's very easy to just tap the question and then you complete it.
This week in Year 5-6, we've been learning about volcanoes. To understand them better, we made 3D cross-section models of them that show all the parts.
This term, the grade 5-6 has been learning about volcanic eruptions and how volcanoes have been formed by the movement of tectonic plates. When the tectonic plates are pushed together, the magma is forced upwards, forming a volcano and volcanic eruptions. We showed this in an experiment using marshmallow fluff as magma and biscuits as tectonic plates. The biscuits floated on the marshmallow fluff and we forced the biscuits together. The marshmallow fluff was squeezed up to show how a volcano was made.
The first thing we had to do was design, draw up designs. The second thing we had to do was photocopy. The third thing we had to do was cut them out, and once they're photocopied,
and then now we're up to screen printing. Later this term, we hope that we can screen print onto t-shirts.
This term we're doing cricket with the guy from Cricket Australia. He taught us batting, bowling, throwing and catching. My favourite part was diamond cricket.
Earlier in the term, we went to the museum to look at paintings of Ned Kelly made by Sidney Nolan. My favorite one was Ned Kelly in a horse. It was simple and easy, but I couldn't draw it. And one of them was sold for 5.4 million 10 years ago. And there were mostly of them was made in 1946, 1947.
The grade 5-6 class would like to thank everyone who helped us raise money this term. We have raised $211 so far, selling sausages and super dupers.
Thank you, Upper Primary. We can see exactly what you guys have been up to, and it looks amazing. All right, for parents interested in learning about autism, there are some free parent workshops running from the 22nd, that's next Tuesday of March, all the way through to the 30th of June. That's been put on by Autism Tasmania, and there are a lot of different things that you can access. If you want to find out more about that, you just need to go to autismtas.org.au/learning development autism community workshop calendar. That address is on the screen, but if you want a link to it, there will also be one on the school Facebook page. Next week, we are going to celebrate Harmony Week, and we're doing that on Wednesday. Our students and teachers are encouraged to come along dressed in some traditional outfits from other countries, or if they can't do that, simply get an orange item of clothing. Could be a pair of socks or a t-shirt, and wear that with a uniform. It's not a free dress day, but certainly come along and celebrate harmony and diversity by doing that. Our teachers are also putting together some finger food from different countries. Our leadership committee have requested that, and to cover that, if people can just put a gold coin donation, bring along that and put that in. We're hoping that we might also be able to raise some funds, which the leadership committee will decide a good cause to put that towards, that does celebrate harmony and diversity. On Monday, expect some information home about NAPLAN. That affects our Year 3s, 5s, 7s and 9s. And there's some information from the school, and there's some information about ACARA, about what that entails. Now, that will actually run in the second week, as I said, of the of term 2, and there will be some practices that are happening in the classrooms for the remainder of this term. Now, there's an important thing that everyone needs to do, and that is those Year 3, 5s, 7s and 9s need to install the NAPLAN lockdown browser on their iPad or their MacBooks so that they can access the NAPLAN material. So if that can be done as soon as possible, that would be fantastic. The final thing that I'd like to talk to you about is really a reminder, and that is that we do have swimming and water safety coming up. Timetable has not yet been organised, but we'll send that out as soon as we know. And that will be an 8-day program starting on the 4th of April and finishing on Wednesday the 13th of April. Well, that's all I've got for this week. So for another week or another fortnight, that's a wrap.